Today I review Space Jam: A New Legacy, where NBA star LeBron James and his son Dom get trapped in a digital universe by a rogue AI, and they must play a game of basketball to escape. But before I get started, if you enjoyed this review and you want to watch new reviews that I post every Monday and Fridays, like this video and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the box right here. As a fan of the first Space Jam movie, I was pretty excited to see Space Jam: A New Legacy, and it came to my attention after watching this that I haven't seen the Looney Tunes in such a long time, probably since I watched the first Space Jam movie, and it was really fun to see them again on here. They always put a smile on my face, especially Bugs Bunny, who's my favorite of all the Looney Tunes. I just love how sassy and clever he is, and this movie even gives him a bit of depth because he has some trauma that he's dealing with, so you see a whole new side of him, and I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but I like it. And I love the idea of the serververse where this movie takes place because it's all of Warner Brothers properties mingling together. And I like the movies where I can search through the background and find characters that I recognize. So throughout this movie I was like, oh, there's King Kong, and oh, there's Space Ghost, and Rick and Morty were even in this, which was weird because I didn't know they were owned by Warner Brothers, but I guess they are, and that was fun. And I love the visual effects that went with this. Just how easily it transitioned from live action to 2D to 3D animation, how they made the colors just pop off the screen. It made it really appealing to look at. And I could tell Warner Brothers put a lot of money into this because it looked more crisp than a Sprite from McDonald's. And I liked the basketball finale. It had a lot of creative wackiness to it because it was like a video game. There would be power-ups on the court, and the bad guys, the Goon Squad, each had different superpowers, so it made the game extra crazy. Like, my favorite player on their team was played by Damian Lillard, and his character could stop time. So during the game, he would stop time and dress LeBron James up like a pirate and tie up the Roadrunner and feed him to Wile E. Coyote. It was just fun to watch. My first issue with Space Jam: A New Legacy is that there isn't much of a story. It's very simple, even for a kid's movie. Like, LeBron James needs to rescue his son, recruit the Looney Tunes, play a basketball game, learn a valuable lesson, the end. And by the end of it, I'm sitting there not feeling anything. I'm just asking, like, what was I supposed to get out of that? This movie had no depth to it. There was no substance, no oomph. It was like eating a dinner that doesn't have protein or fats or carbs. It just has sodium. For example, Don Cheadle plays as the main bad guy, Algae Rhythm, and his motivation in this movie is that he wants people to respect him. And that was boring to me. I was like, that's it? I thought his plan was going to be something like, I'm going to possess the body of LeBron James. That way I can be the king of the digital world and the physical world. Like, that would have been cool. That would have had some oomph behind it. But just the, I want people to respect me is so basic and so vague that it wasn't motivating me to finish the movie. I did finish it because that's my job, but if it wasn't my job, I wouldn't want to watch it. I also didn't like how the other Looney Tunes got very little screen time. Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny took up most of it, and don't get me wrong, I love those two, but I need the rest of the Looney Tunes to get some love also, because at the most they got a few second clips, and then they were put on the bench. Like, this movie literally puts them on the bench. I can see them during the basketball game. Porky Pig had a rap battle. I didn't want that. The thing that makes me the most upset about this movie, though, is that the soundtrack didn't hit like the first movie. Like, that should have been the priority when they were making this. Like, acting, LeBron James is a basketball player. I expected him to not be very good. I can ignore that. The storyline being way too simple, it was annoying, but it's a kid's movie, and I was able to tolerate it. But the soundtrack, that had to be fire, and it wasn't. It doesn't matter who you are. If you go back to the first movie, as soon as it starts, you're like, everybody get up, it's time to slam now. You're singing your heart out. It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 40 years old, you are singing that song. And it's a crime that this movie did not give us that same magic that soundtrack gave us. Like, why not? I didn't hate this movie. I didn't like it. But I didn't hate it nearly as much as a lot of people seem to. Because by the end of it, I honestly didn't feel anything about it. Just nothing in my soul went one way or another. Like, kids will think this movie's fun, but for me, it was just 2 hours of my life gone. Space Jam: A New Legacy is like one-ply toilet paper. It's soft. Thanks for watching. Click right here to watch more reviews. And to see new reviews, click right here to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything.